Hi everybody, Lori from GLP-1 Journey in Review. Today I'm going to be talking to you about a little setback that I had. First of all, I'm not going to be too hard on myself. I've been on this journey for about a year and a half, and you're going to have some slip-ups. Nothing you can do about it. Fortunately for me, it wasn't a bad slip-up. What happened was I worked a little bit extra late, and I was a little hungry. I had burgers out, so I just had a burger and some cheese, no bun, and had some asparagus with it. And then I'm like, I haven't really spent too much time with my wife this week, so maybe I'll try to stay up an extra hour so that I could spend a little bit of time with her. And just didn't have to be at work the next day for an hour later than what I usually do, so I figured, what the heck. Now, eating late, there's really not much I can do about that. That's my job. But when I work really late like that, I really do try to have seafood or fish or something a little bit lighter, a little bit easier to digest. And I didn't. I had the burger, a little bit harder to digest. And it was probably a 6 or 7 ounce burger, and I ate the whole thing. Probably because burgers are my favorite food, so probably shouldn't have done that either, but I don't do that often. And since I was staying up late, I had my couple pieces of fruit that I normally do, and I'm really tired. What am I going to do to stay awake? We were watching TV. I really wasn't too interested in what we were watching, but I just wanted to spend some time with my wife. So I grabbed some pumpkin seeds. Not a bad choice for a snack, but I really wasn't hungry. I was just eating to stay awake, which is not a good thing. I probably should have just said, I'm going to bed. Sorry, I'll spend some time with you tomorrow. Make a point of it. But I didn't do that. And then I'm like, that didn't really help. I'm still really tired. So I had Atkins' version of a peanut butter cup. Again, not a bad choice. I'm on maintenance. None of this actually affected any of my weight. It was just eating for a wrong reason. And I paid for it. When I went to sleep, I was tossing and turning because my stomach was so full. And I didn't get a good night's sleep. And we all know sleep is very important in this weight loss journey because it's a little rough on the body and your body needs to recover. That's not really the only true with weight loss. That's true with everything, but especially during a weight loss journey. So I didn't get a good night's sleep on top of it. I was tossing and turning. And then I started thinking, oh, am I going to pay for this and be sick tomorrow? Fortunately, I wasn't. But almost the opposite happened. It's like I just totally wasn't hungry. There was no way I could have my regular protein shake in the morning. I was just too full. Lunch came around and I'm like, I literally forced myself to take 2 bites. And then dinner came along and I made myself eat a normal dinner. This was all because I overdid it the night before. And I know the real answer to that is don't be hard on yourself. Get back on your normal routine as quick as you can. I just couldn't do it the next day. Fortunately, the day after that, I was back to my routine. So I tried to learn something from that. And again, if I am going to have beef that late in the day, maybe I'll only have a half of the burger. And again, if I find myself eating because I'm just too tired and I want to go to sleep, something needs to trigger in my brain so that I stop doing that and say, oh, I'm sorry, I just really can't stay awake. There's really no shame in that. My wife would understand. We can make plans the next day, and I could always say, hey, let's go out to dinner and have a date night my next day off. Now, she usually works on my days off. We don't have too many days off together except for Sunday. And a lot of times I'm working on my YouTube on Sunday. But she's done with work at 4 o'clock or so. There's nothing wrong with going out to a nice healthy dinner once in a while or spend time going to a show or to a movie or something along those lines. That's what I should have done. And I'm learning. This is a process. This is a journey. We all have to learn from our mistakes. So what did I learn? One, if I'm going to have beef that late at night, very small portion. And if I catch myself eating to stay awake, stop that. and try to get the best night's sleep that you can. Again, if I didn't have all that other stuff, I probably would have. And occasionally I just can't sleep, period. We're all going to have nights that we don't have good sleep, and it's not necessarily because of food, but there are other ways to relax, meditate, at least rest. And I probably should have drank more. That also would have helped, because hydration helps with so many things, including sleep, including eating too much, because probably if I would have drank a glass of water before that meal, there would have been no way that I could have eaten that whole burger. So I'm not mad at myself, because everything that I ate was a good choice. It was just too much of it. You know what they say, too much of a good thing isn't good. They're right. So that's pretty much my little slip up. I know other people have slip ups with eating a piece of cake or some ice cream. And remember, this is a lifestyle. It's okay to have some of that. Remember, portion and moderation. Those are the keys here. That's going to help with a lot. So hopefully you learned something. And for today's contest, let's make a hamburger. I know, that was my slip up. That's kind of the ironic thing. You could either write the word hamburger or the emoji hamburger in the comments and you're entered into the contest. Also in the comments, tell me if you've had any slip ups and what you're doing to try to help and not have them again. You heard my story, my slip up. Let me hear yours.